What would have happened if Donbas had been annexed back then, in 2014?
I think there still would have been a war, but along different front lines. For 8 years, people were kept in a state of limbo. In practice, both Crimea and Donbas became an extremely powerful irritant for the people who call themselves Ukrainians. And on the basis of that resentment and humiliation they managed to carry out nation building, which they had essentially almost completed by the end of the special military operation.
There's also the opinion that back then, in 2014, we simply weren't ready. A lot of people say exactly that, we weren't ready. We were ready for Crimea, but not for everything else.
I'll tell you one detail. Do you remember the Donetsk airport and the Debaltseve operation in 2015? They happened one after another, Donetsk airport, then the capture of Debaltseve. All of my militia friends were either killed, wounded, or shell-shocked during the Debaltseve operation. And we're not going to deny that the Russian army also took part in the Debaltseve operation, are we?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. What do you mean you don't know? There's no point pretending anymore.
Well, many people said that it was there. On the other hand, for some reason it was never officially confirmed. We have this strange practice
where the Russian army operates on its historical territory while pretending it isn't there.
I agree.
And I believe that was also a very serious issue that didn't work in our favor, you understand? And the fact that our army, by February 2015, was practically on equal footing with the Ukrainian armed forces there.
Nevertheless, I remember that in 2022 you spoke about the correctness and necessity of the so-called special military operation, and many others said the same. If there was already an understanding that people weren't actually waiting for us, at least if you understood that, then why didn't the competent authorities understand it?
They weren't waiting for us. We traded away every window of opportunity for some kind of agreements that weren't worth the paper they were written on, for promises and outright deception. They weren't waiting, but we had no other choice.
Was nobody waiting anywhere at all? Or were there at least some places where people were waiting?
Looking at Donbas, which had been left in this unresolved state for 8 years, very few people wanted to end up in the same situation and be treated the same way, as if they didn't exist, as unrecognized territories. Very few people would have been willing to exchange their peaceful lives for that.